What's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. I did get a chance to stop by Lowe's today to see what kind of mechanic specials they had going into Black Friday and Christmas. So today we're going to kind of cover some of the things that I thought were hot deals and some of the things that I thought, So I'll let you guys be the determining factor of whether or not you think it's a hot deal or not, and you can let me know down in the comments. That being said, we're going to kick it off with numero uno. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off with numero uno, the Kobalt 3/8 drive Allen set, SAE and metric, $9.98 a piece. Look, I've had these. I've used them in the real world of wrenching as a prosumer. I've also took them home and I've had them here to put together beds for the kids. I've used them to take the fairings off the street bike for $9.98. Even though it comes on a flimsy little rack, these things are great, man. You just can't pass them up for 10 bucks. I'm saying perfect stocking stuffer option here, okay? Do not neglect the Allen sets. And if you get that mechanic set, which we're going to talk about, that doesn't have a complete Allen set, why not just add it to the mix? That would be a great thing to have. Let's go ahead and jump on over to number 2. Kobalt combination wrench set. Also give you some stubby options. Not very many stubby options, but they do give you some stubby options. But look, a near complete wrench set for the most part, and you get some stubbies with it as well. And they're factoring in at $24.98. Even if you bought them to cut them apart, weld them differently to make some weird angles, or use them for taking off power steering lines where you need to cut it in half to shorten the wrench length. Even as throwaways, they're probably a great wrench if you're not going to buy them for DIY. Don't know how well these wrenches would hold up in the real world as far as wrenching professionally day in and day out, but I think for DIY use, they're going to be just fine. We had the Kobalt wrenches that came with the mechanic set. They seem to be of good quality, so if they're selling you SAE and metric for $24.98, why not, right? Stocking stuffer, could be great to have an extra set of wrenches, even just to toss in the truck for on the fly. All right, I thought this was pretty interesting. The Kobalt ratchet wrench set in SAE and metric for $49.98 kind of reminded me of that GEARWRENCH promo that usually takes place around this time of year, where you can get both the SAE and the metric for 50 bucks. I think that's a phenomenal deal, because when I was younger and I started off in this trade, to get them for 100 bucks was a phenomenal deal. And about 5 or 6 years later, they dropped it down to 50, and they've kind of hung out at the $50 range for the last 4 or 5 years, not just GEARWRENCH, but also Kobalt. I'll put the Amazon affiliate link down below to the GEARWRENCH set if you'd prefer GEARWRENCH over Kobalt. But I'm telling you, if you're in the neighborhood and you're at Lowe's and you wanted the ratchet wrench set, I don't see why you wouldn't pick them up for 50 bucks. They're right there, lifetime guarantee. All right, how about this hex bit set with a baby ratchet for $14.98. Now, Shane has a little tiny box, and I was like, how often are you really going to use that? Believe it or not, we've utilized his set quite a bit for interior work, especially with blend door actuators, some small silly things around the intake and whatnot that have to do with the fuel rail. The set does come in handy, guys. I'm going to tell you, to have a little tiny bit driving set with a baby ratchet like this, you'll be surprised at how often you actually use it. It might not be that day-to-day tool, but you're going to use it frequently enough throughout the year to where you grow an appreciation for it, that's for sure. All right, how about this 2-piece magnetic tray set from Kobalt for $19.98? Interesting, okay? I will say interesting. I've never seen one that was elongated like that. I just don't know that it's worth 20 bucks. Let's go ahead and kick it off with the 215-piece Craftsman near complete or not near complete mechanic set for $119. Not bad, but I also saw a 260-piece set for $159 that looked more complete. Let's go ahead and do a little silent action here, and we'll take a look at the back of this thing so you guys can see the sizes that they come with. All right, I thought that mechanic set for $159 in the plastic trade bin style that I originally had gotten a while back, I thought for 160 bucks that was more complete than the one for 120 bucks. So if you're already going to spend that kind of money, I just don't know why you wouldn't spend the extra 30 bucks. I get it. It comes in a nice little metal toolbox that you could put on top of your workbench. But the plastic one was pretty heavy duty, and it was pretty well built, and I enjoy the fact that I could take the trays out and lay them in my service cart, and if I'm on the fly doing any kind of mobile repair, or I need them here at the house for whatever reason, I can just slide the drawers back in or pick the drawers up and set them in my front seat and then go, right? So overall, I'm saying spend the extra 30 bucks. get the 268 piece set. That's what I think about that one. But let's not forget about Kobalt, because Kobalt also had a 286 piece mechanic set for $159. Let's take a little pause here and let's take a look at some sizes. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Kobalt 286 piece mechanics tool set. I'm not sure if this is the same exact set from a few years back that I did a review on, but it's a pretty complete set. 286 pieces. Yes, there's some gimmicky stuff, but I think for anyone just starting out that's trying to do a step up from maybe that 119 piece sockets that they originally had to something bigger, I think this is another good way to go. So for 160 bucks, they're coming in there pretty close to the Craftsman pricing as far as their overall set. And they have a few extra pieces, but I think you're gonna find that overall, they're gonna cover some of the majority of the same size sockets and everything that you're gonna want as it is anyways. You be the judge, okay? Do you like Kobalt? You like Craftsman? You decide which one you want. They're both the same price. One has a few more gimmicky items than the other. Other than that, I thought it was a phenomenal set then. I think it's a phenomenal set now. But you guys go ahead and let me know down in the comments if anything's changed in the last 3 years with either one of these two sets. All right, we're gonna briefly just cover 2 toolboxes. There was a lot of toolboxes there. I think we covered 3 actually in this video altogether, but let's just cover the 2 Craftsman ones. So the first one that I thought was a really nice looking box that appeared to be pretty heavy duty. They had 110 outlets. It had USB ports. The top comes in at $549, bottom comes in at $649. The other one, the old school looking one, flimsy, chintzy little toolbox. The top comes in at $339, bottom comes in at $439, but it has more drawers than the other one. So what do you want? Do you want more depth? Do you want more width? It depends on what you want, how you want your box set up that's gonna work best for you. Either option, just starting out, it's gonna have the capacity that you need to store the tools that you need to lock it up before you can step it up to the next best thing. So if you can't afford the one that's a little bit more expensive than the other, then get the one that you can afford, and then maybe later down the road, maybe you find it for an even better deal later, or they make other improvements over the next 12 months and they offer you something even more innovative that's gonna be that much more better. All right, so that's all I gotta say about that. Let's jump over to the 25 piece Craftsman screwdriver set, $29.98. Whoa, right? 25? You're getting a lot of screwdrivers, my man. For 25 bucks, that's a pretty dang good set. Old school Craftsman screwdrivers, whether they're made in China or USA, doesn't matter. The fact is these screwdrivers do hold up for a period of time. You will occasionally have to warranty them out like anything else, but I don't think I know too many sets that last any longer than about a year before you have to change something out. Anyways, I think for 25 bucks, hell of a deal. But I think $29.98, hell of a deal. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to my Christmas wish item. Okay, $99.99. I just got done talking about this when we were looking at the Milwaukee LED floodlight, right? But it was gonna be about $400 or $500, so a lot more money than I really wanted to spend. Yeah, it's cordless, but overkill, okay? Overkill, I think, price-wise. My opinion. Maybe it's a hot deal for my Milwaukee guys out there that already own the M18 batteries, charger, etc., and you're just really just adding 230 bucks. But for $99 for a 110 option LED floodlight, if I could have picked it up today, I totally would have, but it is on my Christmas wish list. It's an item that I'm planning on getting for here at the house. I want it because when I start doing side work in the dark, I want to have some floodlight options out here. It also would be handy to have if I needed to toss it into the back of my truck and go to work and work underneath doing transmissions and such. Heck, I might even buy 2. Now I get 2 floodlights for 200 bucks. I still save $30 instead of paying $230 for a cordless floodlight that doesn't come with batteries or a charger. So spend your money how you want to here, but I think that's a hell of a deal, $99.99 for the Craftsman floodlights. All right, Kobalt. Looking like Yukon here, looked really similar to the Husky one, about $100 markup. Just cannot say that I think it was worth it. The Husky came in at what, $248? I accidentally misspoke and thought it was like $289, it was actually $248. The one over at Harbor Freight, if you guys remember the video before that, I think that was around the $250 mark. They're coming in at $398 for a Yukon Husky look-alike box. Kobalt, no, no. Now they did have some nicer boxes. Somebody was asking about jack stands. As far as I know, Craftsman has never had a recall on their jack stands, so what jack stands would I recommend? Well, if you're not going to buy them from the auto parts store and you wanted something you can buy from a big box store, I would say try the Husky ones or try these Craftsman ones. Craftsman ones coming in at $35.98. So there's an option for you. If you don't want to go Harbor Freight route, you can go either with the Huskies from Home Depot or you can go with the Craftsman from Lowe's. Either way, I think they're going to hold up just fine. I myself, I have what are they, Duralast or whatever that I got from AutoZone, or was it AC Delco? This is one, I think a Duralast ones. But I've utilized both sets of those jack stands, never had an issue, and they never emailed me that they had a recall. That's not saying that they didn't have an issue, but they never presented the issue to the public. So for that, I'm still giving Harbor Freight 2 thumbs up, that not only did they try to make amends by fixing their original issue, but when it happened again, they made another amends by trying to fix it again. So yeah, they had too many screw-ups when it came to the jack stands. I think you kind of talked people out of them now. It's going to be a pretty hard selling point at this point for the jack stands until people start feeling safe. That's just my opinion. But I think that if they are a dangerous jack stand, you didn't say anything about it, well, you're not scaring the crap out of people, so maybe that's why the product sells a little bit easier. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. I like the honesty that Harbor Freight has, and I like the fact they're willing to share those part numbers with you guys so you know which ones not to buy. I've had some Pittsburgh jack stands that have lasted for years, but I didn't look at the part number to see if it was one of those sets. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's content. Look, I hope you enjoyed today's video of the hot tool buys over at Lowe's as I saw fit from a mechanic's standpoint and point of view. If you agree with me, please feel free to throw it down in the comments. If you own any of the products we listed here today, let us know how long you've had them for, if they've held up, etc. If you disagree with anything that we talked about here today, or you've had a bad experience with any of these products that are currently on sale from Lowe's, we'd like to hear about it. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure to smash the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, share if you want to share. We'll see you next time. Cheers and deuces.